What's going on, mate? This is Riley Knight from the podcast Half-Arsed History, here to have a bit of a chat with you about the heroes featured in Hidden Cup 5. All the heroes the players are using to hide their true identities are real-life people from history featured as units in various Age of Empires campaigns. And while T90 is an avid history lover, his knowledge and memory of history would pretty firmly make him a historical low elo legend, I think it's fair to say. So he invited me along to tell you a thing or two about these heroes we're watching square off against one another. Let's get to know one of them a little bit better. Jadwiga is remembered as the first woman to become the Queen of Poland, or technically speaking, the King, as that's what she was crowned as in 1384. That's the title she was given a couple of years after the death of her father, Louis the Great. The turbulent medieval politics of Eastern Europe around this period meant that Jadwiga's accession to power was not an easy or a simple thing. King Louis hadn't had any sons, but was still determined that one of his daughters would inherit Poland. Of course, given the way that women were regarded in those times, plenty of people didn't like this, and so when Louis died and Jadwiga stepped up to claim the throne, this caused a lot of issues. And it wasn't just because she was a woman, or really actually just a girl, she was only 10 or so when she was crowned, but also because of the matter of who would reign alongside her as her husband. A lot of the Polish nobles didn't like the bloke that Jadwiga was betrothed to, a bloke named William, the Duke of Austria, but nor did they like the other fella who was trying to muscle in on the Polish crown, Sigismund. And on top of that, a lot of them didn't like another potential king, Siemowit IV, the Duke of Masovia. Honestly, the Polish nobility, the Szlachta, they didn't seem to like anyone much. I guess that's what happens when you give the Szlachta too many privileges. But there was one guy that they liked, a Lithuanian bloke by the name of Jogaila. Despite him being a pagan, the Polish nobles were actually quite happy for Jadwiga and Jogaila to get married, as it would bring about a few different things for Poland. Firstly, it would unify Poland with Lithuania, making both realms a lot stronger than they would be separately, so obviously not a bad outcome there. Secondly, as part of the marriage agreement known as the Union of Krewel, Jogaila agreed to convert to Christianity and spread it throughout his realm, which was another thing the Polish were very happy about. And thirdly, and perhaps most importantly, the Poles would of course get that 20% faster monastery team bonus BB power out those monks, especially with, you know, extra Polish gold generation. How's that for synergy? Anyway, Jadwiga and Jogaila, they were married in 1386. She was 12 and he was 35. Yep. But there is still a fair bit of debate as to how much power she actually held as queen, or sorry, as king rather. She seemed to be reasonably popular and well-liked, but these blasted Szlachta and their privileges, they honestly may have been the ones actually running the kingdom with her as just a figurehead. But while she was at the helm, Poland did pretty well for itself. For instance, Jadwiga oversaw an invasion of Hungary, nicking land off of its king Sigismund, who by now was also her brother-in-law. Instead of marrying her, he married her sister Mary. But for the most part, Jadwiga's reign was peaceful and focused on diplomacy and negotiation. She was famed as a diplomat, in fact. She negotiated tense peace agreements with her husband's ambitious cousin Vytautas. She did everything she could to keep the peace between her realm and the ever-aggressive but obviously extremely slow Teutonic Knights. And despite having a very strong claim to the Kingdom of Hungary after her sister Mary died, Jadwiga decided that discretion was the better part of valour, and so didn't seek to press her claim. A wise and a sensible and a peaceful monarch, one who focused on building hospitals and schools and also presumably beautifully neat farms around her folwarks, Jadwiga's reign tragically came to an end far earlier than it should have. In 1399 she became pregnant, and after giving birth, neither mother nor child survived. Jogaila continued to rule Poland, defending it in her name, and from their marriage and from the Union of Krewel, the joint rulership of Poland and Lithuania was established and would continue for 4 centuries. Today, Jadwiga is remembered as one of the greatest Polish rulers in history, someone who governed fairly and peacefully and left the country a lot better than she found it. Her reign and her life were both short, tragically so, but even in the short time Jadwiga was on this planet, she made her mark on history, and she is rightfully remembered for being a very worthy monarch. But what will her mark be on the history of Hidden Cup 5? Will Jadwiga prevail against the enemies that seek to bring ruin unto her? Keep watching Hidden Cup 5 to find out.